All right, now we're going to give Doc a call here.
Hello?
Hey, Bill, what you doing?
Oh, well, seeing some patients today. I'm been working some and answering emails and checking lab values and just doing what we commonly do when we practice medicine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. So, like we talked before, this is what you doing to tell our Healey group some facts that we know we can trust out of you, because we're all getting tired of watching television and trying to decide which is the truth, which is a lie. So we figured just check with you. Are you in your office?
No, I'm working from home today. We're doing everything by telemedicine pretty much now. I am seeing some patients live in the office for things that just can't be done through a video connection or over the phone, but most of what I'm seeing is by telemedicine or video medicine, and for now that seems to be working out okay. It's not ideal, but it's working out okay. But so Alan, you haven't been visited by any novel crowned viruses?
No, have you been watching? I caught the queen bee, and I still got her here, but I swear I think she's gotten into my phone, and I think she's gotten into my computer, because we're going to be having to wipe down. Ben's going to have to wipe down the hard drive and reload. It's doing terrible. And several people, which now we know, including you, are not able to reach me on the cell phone by text or anything, and that's happened several. So I'm going to have to probably suck it up here soon and glove up, mask up, and head into Verizon and get a youngin' to go, what's wrong with my phone?
Yeah, there you go.
So we've been trying to hook up. Y'all didn't know that first segment I did, and while it took a while to get to this, is my phone's acting up, and he's been texting me, let's do it, and I never get it. So I'll fix that. I'll get the corona out of that. But speaking of corona, we're dying to know from you're here right in the front lines and what's happening here. What really is happening here, man?
Well, I wrote down some figures yesterday, and let me see if I can find them. I get a daily report on the cases in North Carolina, and right now we're heading towards about 7,000 total cases with a little over 200 deaths. And what's important to know that the virus is very infectious, so that's why the emphasis is on social distancing, and we've asked people to wear a mask when they're out in public. And by the way, the mask is not for the protection of the wearer; it's for the protection of the people around you.
Yeah, and I agree. Just do that, even though you feel you're right, and you may have it, not know it yet. The symptoms hadn't showed up, but
right.
And I sure feel better when I have to go out and I see people wearing them, and I don't feel very good when I have to go out and I see a lot of people just ignoring everything.
Yeah, and that's a problem, but it also should be noted that masks can be hard to find, but you can also fashion a bandana or just anything. The mask is for the protection of the people around you, and unfortunately, the presentation of this coronavirus for people is tricky. It has a wide presentation for people. It ultimately it gives you a flu-like illness, but if people will recall with a flu, the presentation is sudden and abrupt. It's all at once. You know, you come down with a fever, you feel horrible, you know, your whole body hurts, you have a stuffy nose, drainage, cough, you feel sick, and it happens all at once. But corona, the onset with it can be a lot more subtle in the sense that you may just have a runny nose and just not be feeling quite up to par. And then as time progresses, typically in 2 to 3, 5 days, you develop more of the typical flu-like symptoms that people would readily recognize. I've had several of my patients come down with COVID, and I would say this, that as far as the average person in our Healey Club, they are well represented in my particular patient panel. A lot of my patients are older and have a lot of different medical problems, and those folks are presenting with abrupt symptoms or getting very sick very quickly and very soon after the illness presents, if that makes sense. But, you know, having said that, there is a wide presentation of this illness. The illness can be mild to moderate, especially in younger people. For example, your 5-year-old granddaughter who loves to sit on your lap, this may be nothing more than just another summer cold for her. She just may have a runny nose, and that'll be it for her. But, of course, if she's around, somebody who's older who may have multiple medical issues, that can be a problem for them. So that's always something to keep in mind. But anyway, there are some nuances about the coronavirus in the sense that some people present with just a loss of taste, and that's an interesting presentation. They just notice that they can't taste their food, and then they go on to develop the typical flu-like illness. But some people have a stomach bug type illness presentation that precedes the typical flu-like illness you get with it. But the thing that's most concerning about corona is that what you're looking for is any significant shortness of breath, chest pain, difficulty breathing. Any of that may need a more emergent evaluation, typically an ER where they can, check your vital signs for you and check your oxygen levels, and see exactly how you're doing. I've diagnosed a few patients who went to the ER and did receive the COVID test and tested positive, and they were released to go back home. And so a diagnosis of COVID doesn't necessarily gain you admission to the hospital, and know that. And there are a lot of people out there right now who are not tested and are just dealing with it at home. So the numbers that we see are going to be low, with a number of people just having the illness, getting over it, and going about their daily lives. But I've had a lot of my patients who are frantically wanting to be tested, and that's important to know what you're asking for when you want to be tested for coronavirus. The test is sensitive, and what that means that is when you test positive, you've got the illness. But the problem is when you test negative, its specificity can have up to a 30% false negative value. In other words, you may test negative, but 30% of the time you could potentially still have the illness and test negative. And that's important because people are hoping, well, if I test negative, then that means I don't have coronavirus. But you can't always depend on a false negative test. That is all I'm trying to say. So, but we're in a pandemic, and if you do develop that you've got corona and you need to self-isolate in your dwelling as best you can from anyone else who may be living there, and just take care of yourself the same way you take care of yourself with the flu. You rest, you drink plenty of fluids, and you take care of yourself. And as I said, what's important is if you do go on to develop any significant shortness of breath, chest pain, difficulty breathing, that would be a reason to go on to the ER. And that's all I can think of off the top of my head. I hope this has made some sense for the Healey Club members.
Oh, yeah, and some of them have reached out and submitted some questions for you to answer because they trust you. Yeah, so being North Carolina and being this time of year, we are into peak allergy seasons. So several of us, including me and Picky, who are living here, the allergies have been kicking our butt. And it's like, okay, is this allergies or is this a corona? So I want to know if you can, tell a little difference. How we did it around here was like, okay, let's take Claritin. So behind-the-counter Claritin. And 4 hours later, feel fine. And take on the Claritin and nothing ever happened, never had any heart problems breathing, no more sinus problem going. Well, there is about an inch of yellow dust on everything. And, bad allergies can make you think, uh-oh. So, somebody's going, is there a way to tell it could be allergies, or are you just going to, what should we just go, it might be allergies or not, here's what I should do to wait and find out? Got any suggestions?
Yeah, that's a good question, and honestly, even that one can be a tough one to sort out sometimes, but typically with allergies, of course, you've got the itchy, watery eyes, itchy ears, nose, throat, drainage, and sneezing. And one thing about allergies is typically all of those symptoms are more of a nuisance than anything else, and people don't typically feel bad or feel sick with those symptoms. They go about their daily lives and rub their noses on their sleeves, and but typically when you're talking about a coronavirus or a flu viruses, people don't feel good.
Yeah.
People with allergies typically don't have body aches and don't have joint aches and just feel sick. So that's sort of a one thing to look for, to distinguish the two. But corona with its presentation as far as being mild initially, I could see be very easy for people to think, oh, it's just, the pollen's getting to me. But then, coronavirus or any other summer cold or flu for that matter, you go on to, things get worse.
Yeah, so your suggestion is sounding like, if you think it is, ride that out and, take your allergy medicine. And if a week from then you getting a little better and the allergy pill's helping you some and you're staying out of the dusty yellow and it doesn't continue on and start loading up the lungs, you're probably just dealing with welcome to North Carolina in spring. Yeah, that's a very reasonable way to look at it. And, people with allergies can sometimes wheeze and have asthma-like symptoms. But, once again, they're typically not having actual chest pain, and significant problems catching their breath, like we're seeing with some folks with coronavirus. Yeah, okay. Well, that's good. Good to know, because a lot of us are having that, and then it goes away especially after we've had a couple of good rain. And myself personally, after we've had a good wash down rain, the next day going, I feel great. So it's like, whew. So, great. Okay, so even if which I'm hearing you say, and I'm telling everybody else, is that repeating shortly on it. If it could be allergies, take your stuff, but still just wait it out. If it's going to get worse, you've got it, but don't take the chance and say, oh, it's just allergies, I'm going to go see grandma. Don't.
Right.
Write it out. It's allergies. She don't want your snotty nose, even if it's allergies all over her, you know?
Right.
So we'll see. I've got another one here. Question. Yes, it's a good one. And I'll precedent this by, is going to be, is there a way that I can test myself? And it goes back to this person talking about, remember a couple of months ago when Geraldo Rivera told the whole world, because everybody thought he's so smart, that all you got to do is hold your breath for 10 seconds. If you don't cough, you don't have it. Oh, man. Okay, yeah. Well, here's the thing about that. Even my 5-year-old granddaughter, when she heard that, she looked at Mommy and I heard and said, that's just stupid. You know, so Geraldo has proved that he has such a low IQ that a 5-year-old is smarter on how to test yourself. And this went worldwide. Everybody believed him. It was all over the internet. People were holding their breath all over the damn country. I'm going, oh, my God, we need to get them out of there and put somebody with more intelligence in there reporting this. So anyway, we had a suggestion that what we ought to do is get rid of Geraldo, bring in somebody who's got a lot more smart. So we're all trying to get a petition to replace Geraldo with a more intelligent group of people. So Honey Boo Boo's family came up, and we thought Honey Boo Boo ought to take Geraldo's replace, because at least with that family giving us the news, they can give us roadkill recipes. He can't. And right now, we could use some good roadkill recipes, so, you know, they can contribute something that he can't. So we could see 60 Minutes instead of Geraldo. We see Honey Boo Boo's family and Emerald going how to prepare barbecue flat cat. And we can keep eating. But that is definitely showed he was a complete damn idiot. And if you want this petition, sign it, send it to your congressman, but don't send it to Congress, because their asses ain't there. When they heard shutdown from the president, what they heard was paid vacation. So who knows what they're doing, but they ain't doing crap. But is there any other home thing we can do at all? You gave us most of it, wait it out and see, but any suggestions there?
Well, other than just treating the symptoms and, Tylenol, decongestants, if those are available and okay for you to take, NyQuil, DayQuil, once again, it just depends on your particular health situation as to whether or not you can use those medications, but I don't have any, I can't necessarily recommend Rocking Rye or some of the other things that are out there.
Well, that used to be NyQuil when I was growing up. My mama hot honey and a shot of Rocking Rye and put my little butt down and cover me with blankets, and 48 hours later I'd sweated out my body weight and I was fine.
Well, who knows? That might work as well as anything, Alan.
Yeah, it might. Okay, well, you doing okay? You?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how you hanging in there with the boys?
Yeah, they're doing fine too, except that the older one is 19, and they can't, with all of their wisdom, they cannot understand the concept of social distancing.
Yeah, for y'all who don't know, Bill is a single parent raising teenage boys, one in college, and he has to deal with this every day as a doctor to try to save us, and then go home to 2 teenage boys who, you remember those days, they got to get out and ride around, see their friends, and he's going, no. I mean, I feel for you, man, because that's trying to keep 2 teenage boys by yourself and raising them alone, going, you can't go out and enjoy life right now as a teenager. Stay still. Makes it hard to go home from the office sometime, don't it?
Yeah. If I get COVID, it will not be from one of my patients. It'll be from them.
Yeah. You told me the other day, you said, I told them that y'all are young and strong, you might survive this, but then you may come back and you're going to kill your old man.
Yeah. There's no kidding about that. That's true.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Well, you got anything else to tell us all? I'm going to get this out to them and go, okay, he's out here on the lines. How are we doing in Greensboro? I mean, I have no idea if we're in terrible shape. I try to make my trips, like Sunday morning is my grocery store trip, and get that and come back. And I see some people being protecting, and the staff at the stores are doing great. But, I've seen some people that are just acting like it doesn't exist or it's over. And, I see some that are taking it serious, and I'm going, are we good? Are we bad? Are we getting worse? Are we getting better? Do you have any statistics on how we are here at home?
Yeah, I'm just looking, like with this daily report we get, it comes in every day to me around 3 o'clock, and the one from yesterday, there were 6,951 cases in North Carolina with 213 deaths. Yesterday, it was, I think, 6,756 cases with 179 deaths, I think was the figure from yesterday. So you can see there's this gradual increase. But in Guilford County, and we have the most cases compared to our other surrounding counties, we have 190 cases documented positive with 14 deaths. So I don't want people to take it lightly, but I don't want people to be overly alarmed. Typically the people who die as a result of COVID have a lot going on medically. They have multiple medical issues, and so. But anyway, that being said, we've had 190 cases. For example, Forsyth County's had 128, Alamance 52, Randolph County 78, Rockingham County 20. And so that just might put it into perspective for you.
Yeah, so I guess we're still in that. It'll keep the cases lower if we keep staying in.
Yeah.
Well, have you been able to take a break and maybe get in the Healey and get out and do some riding on a nice day with the top down at all lately?
Well, I'm concerned that the social distancing police will come after me for riding around my top down and spewing coronavirus out as I motor down the highway.
How are they going to tell the difference between that and all the oil that's burning?
Yeah, that's right.
Said, no, this is a damn 50-year-old British car. That's not Corona. That's Valvoline 2050 racing oil.
Yeah.
Smoking everywhere. And a few of my wires smoking.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the oil fumes are killing the coronavirus, so that will be my argument.
Yeah. Well, you hang in there, man, and it looks like we're not quite ready in the Triad area to let's go have a party yet. Let's keep holding it down and stay distances, and that's the only reason I'm doing this stuff. I mean, I don't know how many's watching. It may just be Paul and Ken Fleming. Hey, Paul. Hey, Ken. Say hi to them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but I'm doing this at least to give them something to do, and some of them live out in the country. So you'll see the one that's posting today is about what's coming up, hopefully, in October, and talked along with Margie about the woolly worm you've run so many times.
Yeah.
So we got something to look forward to in October. So your suggestions to people, what is it? Still keep staying at home?
Yeah, just social distancing. Don't forget you can go out in your neighborhood and take a walk, and please do that and enjoy this beautiful weather we're having, but just social distance. And I would avoid large congregations as much as you can, i.e. Target, i.e., Costco and Walmart, so avoid those places when you can, but, sometimes you have to go to the grocery store, but, wear a mask and try to be as far away as you can from people not wearing masks, but, that's the best we can do right now.
Yeah, sometimes that's almost like an obstacle course at a grocery store, because I've actually been doing that right and do my trip, and then I have people with no mask, no gloves just reach over my shoulder to get something off the shelf above me, and I'm going, come on, man.
Yeah.
So, well, you take care, Doc, and we did this because we needed to talk to a president we could trust here and could tell us the facts, and we know it's not bullshit.
All right, Alan. You take care now. Stay healthy.
Well, we're doing good. Ben's doing good. I think he's called in a refill on some of the stuff that you got him on that's keeping him alive, and it's all looking good. And we haven't had anything here but allergies. And Angelo had one spot of scare when he got really sick to his stomach, and then he realized that he had some food. They gave him food poisoning, and that somebody had brought him some tuna casserole. But apparently they had left it out too long before they distributed their wonderful tuna casserole to their family members and left it for them to eat, and all of them were throwing up. So he was like, thank God it's food poisoning. Well, they all got it. And he did fine after 48 hours. He was going, well, that scared the snot out of me. Just know not to ever buy. When your aunt calls and says, you want something to eat? You go, hell no. You don't. Not from her. She forgets to put it in the refrigerator and then delivers it 2 days later. All right, you take care, my friend. I'll get this out so all your Healey family can get the facts of what you know, what's going on right now. And I love you, buddy.
All right, love you too, Alan. Stay safe.
All right, Ben's right here. Want to say hi?
Hey, Bill.
Man?
There he is. You'll see him on the video.
Hey, Bill.
All right. All right. I'll see you guys soon.
All right.
All right.
Take
See you,
care.
buddy. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. That's it from getting it from the president we do trust, our local doctor. And he's saying that I don't care what they say on any news media, that we're pretty high up here still. So even though it makes you crazy, you be smart. And when you have to go out, protect yourself, protect others. And we're just going to ride it out a little more. So the only thing I can do from here is kind of fix your car so maybe you can go away and drive out in the country for an hour or so, like Chuck got out, Anderson. Until then, nah, it's not over yet. If we want it to be over, we're not going to do something as stupid as I talked to Harold yesterday, and he called people getting upset that Wrightsville Beach isn't open, but they can't go play on the beach, and Wilmington's mayor's catching flack that they don't open all this up, and because Florida was stupid enough to start opening their beaches. And he said the mayors came on live TV and said, well, here's the deal. I'm leaving them closed until we see in 30 days just how that works out for Florida. He said, you're more important to me in their life than y'all getting out and playing with other people on the beach. He said, in 30 days, we'll know if that was a good idea or if that was the dumbest damn thing anybody ever did. So he's waiting on that. So just keep what we're doing. If you want me to, I'll keep throwing in some tech tips of what we're doing while we live here. And when we get something we're working on, a car that might use you, we'll video it. The good thing coming up is now that we got this car, Angelo's video is going to start on how to wet sand and compound and wax and detail your car. So I'll be done for a while after this, and we're going to be coming back and be on Angelo's URL, but we'll post it, and we'll show you step by step, but not every, you don't want to see 4 hours of wet sanding, but show you the difference in how to. And this will take probably about 4 or 5 days, because these stages, because I'm going full bore on Tom's car and sealer and all. and then telling you what chemicals you should be using and shouldn't be using on our Healeys. That's it for now. I hope this helped. I feel a lot better. And if you noticed, I ain't cut the damn news on today because I'm sick of it. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.